So good morning children, welcome back to the science class. And yesterday we discussed about the how the photosynthesis process it will be takes place. Okay, connected to that particular point, and there will be the one short note is there, and what is called as an algae. What is called as algae. Okay, actually this it is a the slimy growth, or we can also say that the green patches which will be grow on the stagnant water. Whenever you will visit the villages, we can see that in the stagnant water bodies, the floating patch like structure it will be present, that is called as an algae. Okay, yes, this algae also has the chlorophyll, so they can synthesize their own food. At the same time, they supply the food for the other organisms which are living in that particular water. Okay, in IC class I can say about that. That is the reason these algal forms or algal plants are also called as floating patches of the sea, and they are named as diatoms. Okay, yes. So let me repeat once again. The green patches which will be grow on the water, we'll call it as an algae. Algae has the chlorophyll pigment and they can synthesize their own food. Okay, yes, that's all coming to this autotrophic mode of nutrition. In the today class, let me explain about other modes of nutrition which it will be carried by the plant itself that we'll study. Okay, yes. Then second type of nutrition, I said that heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero means what? Other. And trophic means what? Nourishment. They depend on the others. They cannot synthesize their own the food. But it's a very interesting thing to learn that just the last class you studied that plant can synthesize their own food. But some plants are there, they cannot synthesize their own food. Okay, so they deprive or they get their energy from other plants. Such a plants we'll call it as heterotrophs. Okay, they depend on the other plants for the food. Okay, what are those plants? What type of nutrition it is, that we can say that. That we'll learn that. Okay, there are three types of the nutrition are there: parasitic nutrition, saprozoic nutrition, and symbiotic nutrition. Is it clear, children? Heterotrophic nutrition. First, let me explain. Start with that. Other modes of nutrition. Other modes of nutrition. Okay. Under this, first we have to study about heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, yes, already I gave the definition. They depend on others. They depend on others, such as organisms, we'll call it as an heterotrophs. Especially some of the plants, they exhibit parasitic mode of nutrition. Parasitic mode of nutrition. How they'll exhibit this parasitic mode of nutrition? Let me explain. Okay. Actually, what is called as a parasite? What is called as a parasite means they depend on the others. Okay. The parasite means we can say, especially the plant. If you go to the villages and we can see the tall plants. This, if you look here, big huge trees we can see. Over these huge trees, and we can see yellow tubular structures. Okay, here yellow tubular structure is a plant. It is like as a parasite. That means they cannot synthesize their own food. They deprive energy from the host plant or the big plant. Okay, just like as training, or they cling to the plant. Okay, just like as a climber, and they climb this big hole with the tree, and yellow tubular parts. It's a plant. It does not have any leaf, and it does not have any what is that called, the green structure, just like the tubular portions, tube-like structures. Okay, and these tubular structures, what they're doing means that they cling to the what is that called, like this? They cling to the main plant. Okay, yes. This, if you think this is a plant, and this particular structures, they cling like this. Okay, we can see over the leaves. Over the leaves, we can see these plants will cover the entire tree like this. Okay, yes. So, how they can derive the energy? How they deprive the energy? This is called as a host, and this is called as a parasite. The name of this parasitic plant is Cuscuta. It's called as Cuscuta. Commonly they used to say it's an amarbel. It's an Hindi word, amarbel, Cuscuta plant. So this Cuscuta clings over this, the host, the plant. How this it will be means, it is just like as an aloe, the tubular like plant. Okay, yes, there is no chlorophyll. So that is the reason it has to deprive an energy from this particular plant. If you observe, we can see very often these plants. I'll show whenever I'll get this particular plant. I'll show for you during the class hours. Okay, this particular plant, it has, if you observe this tube, we can see a small hair-like structures. Hairs will be present, and through this hairs, what they will do means they suck the sap which is present inside the plant. Is it not an interesting thing? Okay, yes, that is the reason, and this particular plant we'll call it as a parasitic plant, and this mode of nutrition is called as a parasitic mode of nutrition. Am I clear to children? Yes. First, once you see that very clearly, after if you open this and just to see their hangouts over this, and just like as a host. Yes. Okay, this the hanging structures, we'll call it as a parasitic plant named as an Cuscuta or an amarbel. They deprive the energy from the host plant. But the next class we'll study, if you go for an animal, what will happen? This parasite animal, it lives inside the host, and it will cause harm to the host, and it will gets benefit. We don't see that type of process here. Only they deprive the energy from the host. Is it clear? Yes. Next, the second type of nutrition, we'll call it as symbiotic nutrition. Symbiotic nutrition, and we can also learn here symbiotic relationship. Okay, yes. What is this symbiotic relationship or symbiotic nutrition? Symbiotic relationship means the relation between two different organisms. Two different organisms without causing any harm. Both will get benefit. Okay, it's very interesting to listen. Two different organisms live together without causing any harm. Okay, that is the best, that particular relationship is called as symbiotic relationship. By that relationship, what will happen means they get the energy, they get the benefit, or they get the food. That particular process is called as a nutrition. Am I clear to you, children? In between two different other organisms, without causing any harm, they live together. That relation is called as symbiotic relationship. By that relationship, both will get a benefit. Both will get a benefit, and both will enjoy the benefits, whatever it is they are having. I'll give you a few examples what is given in the textbook. That particular nutrition, we'll call it as a symbiotic nutrition. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. So, what are the examples for this symbiotic nutrition means? this relation. First let me say what is a symbiotic nutrition means. In between the two different organisms, and without causing any harm, and both will get benefit, that particular relationship is called as an symbiotic relationship. That process is called as symbiotic nutrition. The first example is in between lichens. Actually, what are these lichens? We can also pronounce it the lichens or the lichens. Lichens are yellow or the green or silvery white patches which will be the grow on the plants. Okay, and in between the lichens and the fungi, it is a sort of an microorganism. In between these two, they have very good relationship. Okay, how they'll get a relationship means, and the lichens, it will be the green patches, they'll prepare the food. Okay, and they provide the food to the fungi, and fungi protects the lichens by delivering some catalytic enzymes not to attack to this particular part. Like that, the both will be get benefit each other. Did you get my point? The lichens are having this the greenish yellow color chlorophyll content structures, and the fungi, it will be microorganism, and both will live together and both will be get benefit each other. Okay, that is the best one example. And another example is given in your textbook, and we can see there is an the bacteria. The name of the bacteria is called as an rhizobium. The name of bacteria is rhizobium. Okay, and this rhizobium bacteria lives in bean family plants. Bean family plant. What is this bean family plant means? Either peas or the beans or the groundnuts, pulses, bean family containing plants, they will grow this particular bacteria, rhizobium. I hope you remember the last class. I said one point, there is another component is required for the plant, that is called as an nitrogen. But unfortunately, plant cannot use the nitrogen directly. So they depend upon the soil. There is a bacteria, and this bacteria converts the nitrogen into simpler forms, and it absorbs the nitrogen. I hope you remembered that. So then what will happen, that is only this particular bacteria, rhizobium bacteria. Where this rhizobium bacteria will grow means, and it will be grow in the bean family containing plant. Okay, the bean family. Okay, yes. So, and this bean family containing plant, the main root has, this is the main root, the root has nodules like this. Okay, yes. So don't worry, this is just a bit, and for your idea I am explaining this in class 8. This picture is given. I think in your textbook also you have in the next topics this diagram. Okay, this is a plant, and the root nodule has this rhizobium bacteria. Okay, yes. So how this two, this is one is a plant, another one is a microorganism. In between two different other organisms, without causing any harm, both will be getting benefit. That is called as symbiotic relationship. That nutrition is called as a symbiotic nutrition. How this both are getting benefit? Let me say. Okay, so this bacteria, what will happen? The plant provides, the bean family plant provide food as well as shelter to bacteria. Did you get my point? Plant allow the bacteria to live inside these root nodules. So it is providing shelter. Okay, yes. Not only that, whatever it is prepared, that food is also sucked or used by the bacteria. So like that the bacteria is getting benefit. Now how the plant is getting benefit? I already said that this plant needs nitrogen. Unfortunately, this nitrogen cannot be used by the plant directly. So this bacteria is helping the plant to convert nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites, and then plant uses. This is such a nice, without any harm, the both are getting benefit. That particular nutrition, we'll call it as symbiotic nutrition. That relationship is called as an symbiotic relationship. Is it clear, children? Yes. Then the third one is the saprozoic nutrition, saprophytes. I already sent all these videos. I think you have a glance on that. I have an idea when I'm saying about that. Maybe you're recollecting this entire information. So next one is saprophytes or saprotropes. Also we can say saprotropes, saprophytes, and this relation is called as saprotrophic nutrition. Okay, yes. What comes under this saprotrophic nutrition means you have to study about the fungi. Fungi comes under the saprotrophic nutrition. Whenever the rain comes, what will happen means a group of mushrooms will be the grow over the slimy the moist contents and over the trees like that. So those particular structures we'll call it as a fungi. How this fungi it will be grow? How it will grow means that there is a one activity you already is given in your textbook. Take a bread piece and sprinkle a water over it, and just you can take a plate and you can take a polythene cover and just sprinkle bread piece. Just keep it under the polythene cover and just leave it like that without disturbing at least 1 or 2 days. So we can see that the greenish or the yellowish, pinkish, whatnot, different colors of fungi will be grow over that. We can't see with our eye, and if you observe under the microscope, we can see this fungal growth. Okay, yes. Now let me say that how this fungi it will be. Why they are called as a saprotroph? Why they call as a saprotroph means you have to study one IC point here, and why they are called as saprotrophs means fungi cleanse. The fungi cleans, otherwise the fungi cleans the surface. That is the reason we can say that fungi are called as an saprotrophs, scavengers of the earth. We can say that wherever the dust is there, wherever the dead and decayed organism is there, and they releases the powerful enzymes towards that, and they make this the dead organism, the dead and the decayed organism to become as a soft, and that soft matter is taken by the fungi. That is the reason, and it cleans that entire surface. I hope you know who is called as a scavenger. The municipality people are called as a scavengers. And how the scavenger of the municipality people are cleans our roads, just like that the fungi cleanse that particular area, and that is the reason, and they are called as a saprophytes. So fungi is getting the food by releasing certain enzymes over the dead and the decayed part, and that's the reason that particular type of nutrition is called as a saprotrophic nutrition. Okay, children, one more point is topic is left. This insectivorous plant. Let me say that particular topic tomorrow, and watch my lesson carefully, and I'll send the topic also. Please read and make a note of that, and I will give the worksheet also. Please fill that worksheet. Thank you.